I wanted to share a few thoughts on Roe versus Wade and what's actually happening versus what's being reported here in the UK. There is a lot of disingenuous media going on, talking about an abortion ban. That's the shorthand version so that no one has to think too much. But it's not true. What's actually happened is the Supreme Court has changed decision-making on abortion. So it will no longer be at an America-wide level, a federal government level. These decisions will be made at a state level where individual voters can impact on who runs the state and what decisions those individuals make. Second up, we've got a lot of feminazis screaming all over the place at Glastonbury or wherever, some of them saying, well, this is an outrage, Godspeed for women's rights. And yet up until about 2 minutes ago, none of them could actually tell me and still wouldn't tell me what the definition of a woman is. Ask these individuals to define a woman and they can't for fear of offending the trans lobby somewhere. These same women who are stomping about demanding that women's rights are protected are the same individuals who are happy that people who went through male puberty and are wanging around a penis, small or otherwise, can compete against girls, regular girls in track and field and beat them at everything. They are happy with that. What happened to women's rights then? These same women, these feminazis, are outside the court saying they're going to have a sex ban. They're going to withhold sex until this decision is overturned. A big part of me is like, phew, you're going to do the gene pool quite a lot of favours if you could just withhold that whole area of your body for quite a long time, ideally a lifetime. I think many men would be breathing a sigh of relief that these women won't be flouncing their groins about in their direction anytime soon. And I do always wonder with these angry women who are so obsessed by women's rights, I look at the state of them. I mean, seriously, the size of some of these chumbawambas with their purple hair, they've made themselves as unattractive as it is possible to be, and yet they bang on about what women want. I look at them with their signs, my body, my choice. Darling, with that body, you don't get a choice, sweetie. You have to be grateful for what you're given. And we also notice, don't we? We commonly observe that these same women who want the right to choose and decide for themselves about their bodies are the same women that demand that I get 3 jabs and a booster in order to enter their country. The hypocrisy is everywhere. The level of it's disingenuous to say it's an abortion ban. It isn't. And there will always be a very different understanding of this whole debate from an American perspective than from a British perspective, where it's seen as something of a medical issue and a private matter. In America, it's much more of a political issue. And no one will ever be able to bridge or straddle that divide. But just to those angry feminazis out there, darlings, why don't you put your signs away? Definitely have a sex ban, because you'll be doing the rest of the world's population a favour, and maybe try and be a little bit more honest in the coverage of what you're actually telling people is going on, because the reality is quite different from the idea and the angry messages you're trying to put across. Those are my views on Roe versus Wade.